In the world of horror films, few names send a chill down the spine quite like The Conjuring. But what if I told you that these terrifying tales weren't born from Hollywood imagination alone? What if the nightmares that filled cinemas across the world were rooted in real encounters, real families, and real hauntings? Tonight, we peel back the veil between fiction and fact to uncover the true stories that inspired the Conjuring Universe and the lives of the controversial paranormal investigators behind it all, Ed and Lorraine Warren. You're listening to Urban Whispers, where the strange and the spectral are never far behind. Before we dive into tonight's chilling journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because here on Urban Whispers, we uncover the truth behind the world's most haunting legends. Now let's step into the shadows. The Perron family haunting. The true story behind The Conjuring. 2013. Our journey begins in 1971, in the quiet countryside of Harrisville, Rhode Island. The Perron family, Roger and Carolyn, along with their 5 daughters, moved into a colonial farmhouse built in the early 1700s. To them, it was the ideal home, spacious, peaceful, and surrounded by open fields. But from the moment they unpacked their boxes, something felt wrong. It started subtly. Doors creaked open by themselves, clocks stopped at the same hour each night, and the family's dog refused to enter certain rooms. But soon, the disturbances escalated into a full-blown nightmare. The children began waking in the middle of the night to whispers in the dark and cold hands tugging at their sheets. Carolyn, the mother, woke up covered in strange bruises that appeared overnight, and a putrid stench would drift through the halls without any clear source. The family began noticing apparitions, some benign, others horrifying. One of the daughters claimed to see a woman in a gray dress weeping in the corner of her room, while another described a spirit that smelled of rot and decay. But among the many ghostly figures, one name became infamous: Bathsheba Sherman. Local legend painted Bathsheba as a woman who had lived on the property in the 1800s and was accused of witchcraft. It was said that she sacrificed her infant child to Satan and, before hanging herself, cursed the land so that no one who lived there would find peace. Although no official record confirms these accusations, the tales persisted through generations, and soon, the parents became convinced that Bathsheba's spirit haunted their home. Terrified and desperate for help, the family reached out to Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famed paranormal investigators. Lorraine, a self-proclaimed clairvoyant, claimed that as soon as she entered the farmhouse, she could feel a dark and oppressive presence. She later said she saw Bathsheba's ghost standing behind Carolyn, whispering threats and trying to possess her. The Warrens performed several cleansing rituals in an attempt to drive the spirit away, but they warned the family that something ancient and malevolent lingered in the house. Although Hollywood's depiction of the events amplified certain moments, the Perrons themselves insist that the haunting was real. They lived in the farmhouse for nearly 10 years, enduring the presence of these spirits until they finally fled. Even after leaving, the family claimed that the haunting never fully released its grip on them. The Enfield Poltergeist. The real story behind The Conjuring. 2. Fast forward to 1977, across the Atlantic Ocean, in a modest house in Enfield, England. The Hodgson family, single mother Peggy and her 4 children, began experiencing strange occurrences that quickly gained worldwide attention. What started as small disturbances soon turned into one of the most documented cases of paranormal activity in history. Late one night, Peggy's daughters, Janet and Margaret, heard scratching noises and saw a chest of drawers slide across the floor by itself. When Peggy entered the room, she witnessed the same thing happen again. Over the following weeks, furniture moved without explanation, Loud knocking sounds echoed through the walls, and the children reported being thrown from their beds by unseen hands. The story made headlines, and even local police officers claimed to have witnessed a chair glide across the floor without anyone touching it. Neighbors described hearing growling voices and heavy footsteps when the house was empty. But the most chilling moment came when 11-year-old Janet began speaking in a deep, gravelly voice that she said belonged to an old man named Bill Wilkins, the spirit of a previous occupant who had died in the living room years earlier. When the Warrens heard about the Enfield case, they traveled to London to investigate. Lorraine claimed that she immediately felt a dark energy surrounding the house and believed the family was under attack by a demonic entity. Ed interviewed Janet and described her behavior as unlike anything he'd ever seen. While skeptics accused the children of faking the phenomena to gain attention, others, including paranormal researchers and journalists, insisted that some of what they witnessed could not be explained by science. Even today, the Enfield Poltergeist remains one of the most debated hauntings in history. Whether it was genuine possession or an elaborate hoax, the story left an undeniable mark on pop culture and inspired the terrifying events portrayed in The Conjuring 2. The true origins of Annabelle. If there's one object that perfectly symbolizes evil in the Conjuring universe, it's the Annabelle doll. But the real Annabelle doesn't look like the porcelain-faced figure from the movies. In reality, she was a soft Raggedy Ann doll, red yarn hair, a stitched smile, and button eyes. Yet, beneath her innocent exterior, she carried one of the most chilling legends in paranormal history. In the early 1970s, two nursing students named Donna and Angie received the doll as a birthday gift. At first, she seemed harmless, just a cute decoration sitting on the couch. But before long, the women noticed strange things. The doll appeared in different positions, even different rooms, without anyone touching her. They would leave notes around the apartment reading "Help me," written in what looked like childlike handwriting. Concerned, they contacted a psychic who told them the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins, who had died tragically on the property. Donna and Angie felt sympathy for the child's spirit and allowed her to stay. But that was their mistake. The activity quickly turned violent. A male friend of theirs mocked the doll and reportedly woke up one night choking as Annabelle sat at the foot of his bed. Another time, he claimed to have been clawed by unseen hands. Terrified, Donna and Angie turned to the Warrens for help. Upon investigating, Ed and Lorraine concluded that the doll wasn't possessed by a child at all, but by a demonic entity pretending to be one. Its true goal, they warned, was to claim a human soul. After performing a series of blessings and exorcisms, the Warrens took the doll and sealed her inside a glass case at their Occult museum in Connecticut. The case bears a sign that still sends shivers down visitors' spines. Positively, do not open. Lorraine often said she felt the doll's evil presence even when it was locked away. Visitors who mocked Annabelle or ignored the warning were rumored to have suffered tragic accidents after leaving the museum. Whether coincidence or curse, Annabelle remains one of the most famous haunted objects in the world. The Warrens, saviors or storytellers. At the heart of every tale stands the couple who made the supernatural their life's work, Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed, a self-taught demonologist and devout Catholic, and Lorraine, who claimed clairvoyant abilities, investigated over 10,000 cases throughout their careers. From the Amityville Horror to the Smurl haunting, their names became synonymous with ghostly encounters and demonic possession. To their supporters, the Warrens were spiritual warriors, people who risked their lives to protect others from the forces of darkness. To their critics, they were sensationalists, embellishing stories for attention and money. Yet even their harshest detractors couldn't deny the influence they had on popular culture. The Warrens never shied away from controversy. They often said that their work wasn't about proving ghosts existed. It was about reminding people that evil is real. "The fairy tale is true," Ed once declared. "The devil exists. God exists. And for us, our very destiny hinges upon which one we elect to follow." Their faith-driven approach, coupled with their willingness to confront what others feared, turned them into icons of the paranormal world. But whether they were saviors of souls or skilled storytellers remains one of the greatest mysteries of their legacy. The Conjuring legacy. Today, the Conjuring films stand as one of the most successful horror franchises in history. But beyond the jump scares and demonic faces lies something more profound. Real stories of fear, faith, and the human need to understand the unknown. The Perrons, the Hodgsons, and the owners of the Annabelle doll all experienced something that defied logic. Whether those experiences were the work of supernatural forces or psychological phenomena, the terror they felt was undeniably real. And perhaps that's why The Conjuring resonates so deeply. It blurs the line between reality and nightmare. Even decades later, these stories continue to haunt those who hear them. So the question lingers. Were these families truly haunted by forces beyond comprehension, or victims of fear and suggestion? We may never know for sure. But one thing is certain. The Conjuring Universe reminds us that sometimes the scariest stories aren't the ones we invent. They're the ones that really happened. And if you ever find yourself standing before a doll with eyes that seem to follow you, do yourself a favor. Don't look back. If you enjoyed exploring the dark truths behind The Conjuring, make sure to subscribe to Urban Whispers and hit the bell icon. More real-life mysteries, hauntings, and hidden histories await, because here, the whispers never stop.